I'm Carole Feuerman, and I just came from one of the most exciting tours of Europe that I've ever had. And as you know, we've all been hunkered down with COVID, and we haven't gone any place, especially to Europe. So traveling is something I was really looking forward to. And my gallery arranged a fabulous trip. BEL-AIR Fine Art set up a trip where I would go to 4 cities, parties, champagne, dinners, 5-star hotels, celebrities, TV, everything, and it was even better than I ever thought. I flew into Nice, where I was picked up by a limousine, and then I was taken to Monaco. And in Monaco, my sculpture was installed in front of the Fairmont Hotel, and there was all these beautiful cars outside and the casino, Monaco Casino. And I walked into the lobby of the hotel, and in the lobby was Monumental Quan, and then Next Summer, and then Christina by the pool. Outside was Yaim and the Ball, and then in the gallery, which is attached to the hotel, were about 12 of my pieces. It was so perfect because the first day I rested, the second day I went to the pool, and the third day was the party. I met this woman, Serene Menacci, who has 6 Magrittes, and she's on the board of Museum d'Orsay in Paris, which is one of my favorite museums. They have a Rodin collection to die for, and I remember when I was younger and I went to the Rodin show at Museum d'Orsay, the museum was closing down and they kept saying, "Lady, you have to leave, you have to leave," and I almost got thrown out because I never wanted to leave. So on my bucket list is a show at the Museum d'Orsay, and the woman that I met said that she was going to bring me up to the board and discuss my doing a book signing there and maybe having some pieces there. So, you know, this is what dreams are made of. And there were other people that were fabulous. There were people who followed me. There were very big collectors. There was a woman who's friends with the president of Israel, and just, you know, beautiful, wonderful, sweet people with a great opening. Well, from there we drove to Saint-Tropez, and I'm friendly with the owner of the best hotel in Saint-Tropez, and she had a suite waiting for me with champagne and flowers and candy and fruit, and it was a beautiful suite, and she invited me and the owner of the gallery to Shabbat dinner, which was remarkable. Just the whole thing of having this Shabbos dinner overlooking the ocean in Saint-Tropez in a gorgeous home was a highlight. And the next day was my opening, and I had brought 4 magnificent dresses, so I really didn't need anything, but I was walking around Saint-Tropez and I saw a gown with Swarovski crystals, and as you know, I'm the queen of crystals, and I thought, wow, this dress will look like my sculpture. I need this dress. So I bought this beautiful handmade Swarovski crystal dress, and I wore that to the opening, and people came from Catalonia, they came from Brazil, they came from all different countries to meet me, and we had a famous chef who cooked a wonderful Italian dinner, and I signed books, and sculptures were sold. And one of the sculptures that sold was Monumental Quan, to one of the wealthiest men in the world, big art collector, and he's from Brazil, so that was extremely exciting. And some other things that happened that were exciting is afterwards, about 8 of us went to a party an outdoor party at a beautiful club with a woman who was singing, and we had more champagne and toasting, and it was, you know, so much fun. Well, each city is a destination. From Saint-Tropez, I flew to Venice, and Venice is one of my favorite cities. It's where I was given a big start with my monumental pieces, and I met Morris Cerrone, who had been a social media fan, actually, friend, and I didn't know who he was, and an appointment was set up, and it turns out he was the general director and chief of staff of Venice, and a pretty important position. So my art gallery, my art dealer was there, and she said to him, Morris, so what we're really looking for would be a museum show in Venice during the next Biennale, and he said that he would work on that, and today I heard from him, and we're all working on it. I have to make a proposal, and I'm going to do a 50-foot sculpture, which I've never done, in sections, and I'm going to propose it for the right on the Grand Canal. The museum is the Museum of Modern Art in Venice, and everyone is like over 1 million people go to Venice during the Biennale and during the summer. So this is something I've always wanted, and it looks like it's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, I have 4 coffee table books about me, but on this tour, everyone was interested in my autobiography. So I was signing the autobiography and telling people about my life and asking them about theirs. And one of the things that is always interesting to me is to meet people and talk to people. And there were many people who I shared experiences with, and it's very touching, you know, to meet your fans and to know that someone came from another country just to meet you. But another exciting thing that happened is from Venice, I took a first-class train to Rome, where I had a museum show at the Museum of Modern Art in Rome. And when I got there, it's an ancient museum. Even though they say modern art to Romans is a little different than modern art to Americans, because Rome is so old. But my BB on the wall was front and center when you climb the steps all the way up to the top where you enter the museum. Was BB on the wall with a big sign and my name and a banner. And then I walked in and another 3 flights of stairs, and I walked past ancient art that I had read about and seen in magazines, and my prints, which were never really shown in a museum, lined the walls next to the antiquity. And then when you went out to the courtyard of the museum, I had the Thinker in black bronze, I had Yaima on the wall in bronze, and Brooke with Beach Ball, and people came. We had a press conference at 11 o'clock, and I got there early. I got there at 10, and it was amazing to me. There were all these people mulling around, and it was the press. I have had more than 25 articles written on me in the last week, and when I read the articles, they called me the queen of hyperrealism. So after that opening, after that press opening, I went back to the hotel, changed my clothes, and then we went for a cocktail party back at the museum, which was really well attended. And the surprise after that was there was another party at a tennis club. And the thing that was remarkable about this ancient tennis club is that it had Roman walls from the 13th century, and then it had the tennis courts, and there were women playing on the tennis courts. And it was explained to me that women were not allowed to play tennis, and no club allowed women in these sports clubs till 10 years ago. And this was the first club that allowed women, and it was special for that reason. There were 2 artists that came to this party, and they had a farm, and they donated ricotta, fresh cheeses and special wines and prosciutto, and he was slicing this gigantic prosciutto, and we were all eating at these little tables, and it started to rain, and nothing could bother me. The raindrops were falling on my head, and it was okay. And at the end of the party, I told this artist who had donated his time and effort and money to make my party special, I said, "What can I do for you?" And he gave me a pen, And he said, I want you to draw a picture on a tablecloth for me. And I drew a picture of the next sculpture that I'm making, which I haven't even made yet. I just started it. And he took the tablecloth and he's going to frame it as my gift to him. So talk about sharing experiences and special times. My trip overall was a huge success, and I'm so excited for the future and what's to come.